Hey guys, welcome to Street Fighter Alpha 2 Ryu arcade playthrough. As always, these are my arcade playthroughs of, quite frankly, what I consider the seminal fighting game of all time. Alpha 2 for me is just perfection. In terms of artwork, in terms of sound design, in terms of combat, in terms of replayability, everything. This game has got literally everything in my eyes. If you've never played this game, trust me, even if you're not into fighting games, I think you'll enjoy this one. It's so accessible, yet it's so intricate, there's so much to learn, there's so many movesets, there's so much to it that you could just play this game forever. This game is 22 years old and it still surpasses most games today, if you ask me. Here we are, round one against Zangief, who quite frankly is one of my favourite characters of all time in any fighting game. I think he's so underrated. So many people kind of overlook him when you're playing online games on Street Fighter. I just think he's a great character. But yeah, as you can see here, I was pulling out some fairly quick moves with Ryu. Ryu is always a good character to choose in Street Fighter because, first of all, he's the most iconic. But secondly, even when you compare him to Ken, his Hadouken and his overhead kick are just slightly quicker than Ken's, especially in this one. Ken is fantastic, but you'll find in this one Ryu is just a bit more intricate when it comes to how he pulls combos together, and that's another great thing about Alpha 2. The combos in this are just sublime. Here we go to round two. Now Rose, okay, she's one of the very rare characters in Street Fighter. Not a lot of people know about her unless you're a real sort of Street Fighter fanatic. She's a really good character. She's got a very different moveset. She's kind of a combination of, I would say, Guile and Chun-Li, really. She kind of whips out her, I guess it's her scarf, with this kind of bolt of lightning thing. She's a great character, and look at that for a finish. I love it when you can finish with like those. It's just one of the things I love about this game is the super finishes at the end, which I just think they completely ruined in Alpha 3. Alpha 3 is a great game, but my problem with Alpha 3 is that it just doesn't feel as kinetic as this one. Alpha 3, for some reason, I don't know what it is, when I'm playing it, it feels like a console game. Whereas when I'm playing this, it feels like a 1996 arcade game. And I think that's the reason why I hold this in much more high esteem. Look at that for a finish. I think that's the reason why I hold this in much more high esteem than Alpha 3. It's probably why you see me hardly ever do Alpha 3 arcade playthroughs. I do like Alpha 3. I just don't think it has the replayability factor that this one has. But I love playing it online with the guys. Tony Skittles and Predator Gaming HD. If you haven't seen those guys yet, please go and visit their channels. And I'm also going to be giving quite a few other people shout outs over the next few weeks now that I'm going to be doing these pieces to camera. This is obviously Dhalsim. Dhalsim, one of the original characters from Street Fighter 2. I think he was never better than he was in this game and Alpha 3. I always found Dhalsim a little bit cumbersome in Street Fighter 2, if I'm honest. I don't know what it was about him. I could never get used to him. He was too slow, even in the turbo version, even in Hyper Fighting. I found Dhalsim just that little bit clunky. Whereas in this one, you can pull out some great combos, and he's got that, instead of just the foot spiral thing, he's got the head spiral thing, so which is a lot more effective there. You can see the foot spiral thing there. It's just such a beautiful game to play, and these are the arcade versions, so if you've never had the chance to play any of these guys, you should really purchase Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, because quite frankly, yeah, there's a few problems with the collection that people have pointed out, you know, the netcode when you're playing online, etc., but it still works for me and the guys. You know, I think it's been sorted out now. It's only when you do kind of random matches, really, sort of thing, and that's very rarely these days. But all the arcade versions are there, and it's fantastic. Okay, here's Charlie. Now Charlie was introduced in the Alpha series, and he was mentioned way back in Street Fighter 2. with Guile, and he, spoiler alert if you don't want to know this, turn off now or block your ears. He actually dies in Alpha, and that's because the Alpha games are set before Street Fighter 2, and in Street Fighter 2 Guile is trying to avenge the murder of Charlie. So yeah, to get to play Charlie is pretty cool, and he is a great character. A lot of people actually prefer him to Guile. I'm not sure if I prefer him to Guile. I definitely think he's one of the better characters in Street Fighter, in the Street Fighter Legacy. But I think Guile's got the edge for me, just purely how cool Guile is. Guile's just one of those characters that, no matter how many times you use him, you always find just little nooks and crannies that you've never found before with him. Like for example, the other day I was playing against Tony, and we had a double match of Guile, and I never realized you could do a double flip kick. I never realized you could do that, which is amazing, which is so cool. Okay, M. Bison. Well, what needs to be said about this guy? If you don't know about M. Bison was the original final boss in Street Fighter 2, but in the Alpha series, well, in this one in particular, some characters don't play him as the final boss. For example, Ryu doesn't. Ryu fights, well, we'll see who he fights as the final boss. And if you're playing Sagat, he plays Ryu as the final boss, because they have to have the rematch in the field. The Field of Fate, which if you've seen Street Fighter 2 the movie, you'll know all about, and it's a very iconic scene in the history of Street Fighter. But Sagat wants to take revenge, should I say, for what Ryu did to him and gave him the scar in the original Street Fighter 1. And if you haven't played Street Fighter 1, wow, that's an experience. Street Fighter 1 is one of those games that you really have to be a hardcore fan of Street Fighter to enjoy it. It's it's fairly unique. It's a very clunky game. It was Capcom's first foray into fighting games, and it shows. It's very clunky. It's 1987, and look at that for a finish. Oof. I should have said, sorry, this is the iconic matchup, Ryu and Ken. And this background, I should say, by the way, this is a really great background. It's got Captain Commando in the background. It's got Strider there on the right. There's Captain Commando stood next to his wife, with the blonde hair and the big wide shoulders, the big 80s shoulder pads. But yeah, you can see Strider in the background as well. This is a great This is one of my favorite backgrounds in the game, one of my favorite stages. It's beautiful. Okay, I think we are coming up to the last two levels now, and the next one I believe will be Sagat, and this is a beautiful background. For me, this is the best version of a Sagat background. A lot of people prefer the background in Alpha Warrior's Dreams, which incidentally is obviously the first Alpha game, but this actually is a remake of Alpha 1, Warrior's Dreams, which a lot of people don't know actually. This was just like a reboot of it. I thought it was just a continuation, but it's an actual reboot of Alpha 1, Warrior's Dreams. I love Alpha 1. I think Alpha 1 is better than Alpha 3. Alpha 3 to me, and this is a very unpopular opinion, Alpha 3 is actually the weakest Alpha game to me. That's just, you know, that's a very rare opinion you'll hear of, because most people love it. Look at that for a finish. I love doing those finishes. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but Alpha Warrior's Dreams, yeah, as you've seen on my channel, I do a lot of uploads on that. Okay, here we go with the final stage, and this is Akuma. This is who Ryu faces. Now, Akuma made his first appearance in the Alpha series. He was a secret character in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and you could unlock him. But this was the first time that you could actually play as him. And you could unlock him as a secret character in Warrior's Dreams. So maybe that's one of the reasons why they redid this game in Alpha 2, so you could play as Akuma. But look at him. I mean, Akuma is one of the greatest video game characters of all time, I think. He could have quite easily just been a clone of Ryu and Ken, but he's got so many great moves. The shadow teleportation move, it's just fantastic. He's a really, really good character, and to use him is fantastic in this game. He's one of the really good characters in Alpha 3, actually. And he's been consistently brilliant in any fighting game he's appeared in. I mean, he's great in Tekken 7. He's now part of Tekken lore in Tekken 7, and they integrated him so well into Tekken 7, which gives me hope that eventually that they'll bring Ryu and Ken into Tekken. Here's hoping. But yeah, I mean, this is just such an iconic matchup. I love both of these guys so much. Oh, you've got to learn how to block in Alpha 2 as well. It's a really important aspect of the game. That was close. And there we go. And that is it. That's the last level. Here we go now. You possess the same power as I. When the evil intent awakens within you, then you will know. All these past battles I will seem like child's play. What? The island, it's disappearing. My acting's terrible, sorry. When you have learned to summon all your inner power, find me, then we will truly learn who is more powerful. As Akuma's island disappears, so does Akuma, leaving behind the feeling of his evil presence. Akuma! Left only with a sense of his untapped powers, Akuma's words give Ryo yet another test. Ryo's journey to be a true warrior is never ending. And that's it, boys and girls. That's the credits roll up. Yeah, so I'm going to try and be doing a few more pieces to camera. I'm also going to be trying to do a few more live streams. I just want to finish this also, guys, by saying thank you so much for all your support. You guys have been fantastic to me. There's so many people I want to shout out to over the next few weeks. You're all brilliant. I try and get to all of your channels as much as I can. And I want to give a big shout out lastly to Lady Lisa Marie, my baba. Please give us some love on her channel, and I will be back hopefully very, very soon with another arcade playthrough. And yeah, let me guys know what you thought of this, and whether you want to see any more. Until then, Hadouken!